session, Monday night session for January 4th. And we're going to talk about the top 10 prospecting ideas for 2016. And I'll show you guys where to do some of this also as we're going down the list. Obviously, ask questions. And I'll send some follow-up email with some other things to ask. All right, so the first one, and most of these are going to be involved around business. I'll have to work. Want to or not, you're going to make it a business. Sure. Buyers are great, but at some point you're also going to want to get some listing. That buyers come from the listing. Like you agree with that? All right, good. So the first one, I'll put it up on the screen here, so anybody who's online can also see it. First one I want to talk about is pulling expired listings every week, both new and going back at least 5 years in 1 or 2 towns or areas of a city. I would work at least 50 to 100 on an ongoing basis. Go over to MLS just to make sure you guys know how to search expired. Maybe not. Okay, I'll show you guys real quick. If you go to the MLS search toolbar, you can search single families. You can pick multi-families if you want to also, but let's just stick with single families. You're going to pick this expired button down here, highlight only that one, and then you can put a time frame. So you could do today through expires in Kansas. Yeah, you want it in Kansas. So I highlight both of those. And let's say I'm going to look in Auburn. Change 6 months. Yeah, I'm going to change that. So Auburn's the town I'm going to pick. Do today through 5 years. If you're wondering what you need to put in these boxes, you can always click on this little magnifying lens that tells you the type of criteria you can put in boxes. So we're going to look today through 5 years. You get a count to see how many you're going to be looking at. 436. It'll take you a while to go through that, but I would consider doing it. Right. Once you hit the search button, you have to physically look at each one and make sure that that listing will come back on the market. Yeah, so you just click on each listing. This is actually
familiar.
It looks familiar. So let's pick this one just for a case in point. You got to click on it and then click on the property history button. And they're always chronological, oldest to newest. So the newest listing is a sold. So it came back on the market in 2015. So you would not want to prospect that one. You just hit backspace, and then I would usually mark the ones you want to keep and just leave them blank. Because later what you'll do is you'll be marking the ones you want to keep as you're going down, looking at each one, and then you click on the keep button. That'll once you do that, it'll keep all the ones you put checkbox in, and that'll become a finalized list that you can then download.
So where does it save?
When you just hit check.
When you hit check.
It only saves it while you're looking at this queue. So let's say this one was able to go with people prospected. I'll put a checkbox in there, and then I'll go to the next one, click on it.
Now, isn't this the thing, though, that if you leave the screen and come back, then your check boxes are all gone?
If you just pull more.
And two more. Yeah.
Right. So this one sold. Go up to that one. Backspace. Why did they disappear for some reason? They never used to, so you might have to. So you would have to read it. Or you could print this whole thing out. Depends on how you want to go through it. Print it out, do all your X's, and then go through the end and just put them all. Might be hard to do a list of 436, but let's say you just went through each one on a piece of paper, or just basically print this screen out, so you can print the screen.
You can print all of them just, with the MLS number and the address.
Yeah, or you can just print this page,
So it's going to print above the other thing where those buttons. If you do that print, then you can select what's like from a paper. So you can like, if you do not the full report, but the one all the way to the top, the one line.
Yeah.
Then you don't waste on the paper, and then you just do the addresses. You delete the office info and the photo.
Yeah.
And then you got this long list of takes up like 2% paper.
Right. Right. So that way you can keep track of which ones you can go out to. So at the end you can develop your list. They used to. The program must have kind of changed a little bit. You can be able to check the box, and then go down to the next one, check the box. Go on.
Yeah, the inability to do that must be relatively in.
No, yeah, for me, like if I check,
I'm wondering if it's maybe
How you
also
put in that.
a.
I might be on that because I'll like check off 2 or 3 and then I'll go
Well,
to
I'm on
4
Google
1
Chrome
and I
right now.
come back
Maybe
and it's done.
Internet Explorer works.
I have a Mac.
Well, you have to figure that out. Little issues while you're doing it.
Yeah, but I do exactly what you said, and that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can export the list.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you're done, you can download. Right. Then you can download and put it right into Excel if you want to also. So that's a good way to develop a list of expireds that are going to work, consistently work.
And you should go back 5 years or something.
I don't know why you wouldn't, because
Because the list was that big, I'm saying, do you maybe want to bring it?
it depends. I mean, if you really want to go after expired, that's going to be a major portion of the prospect.
Narrow down my price.
I mean, out of 436, my guess is typically comes down to end up with 100 that haven't come back on the market and sold or are active. So for me, it's worth going after them because those agents will be going after much less than they want to bought fresh off the expired list. Older ones, they're probably going to at some point relist. Most people don't just give up on their real estate goals forever. Forget it. We're staying. Sorry, honey, we're staying here forever.
Get the time box.
Good luck saying that to your wife.
Time box, put it in the family room.
Right. So, you can work those in numerous ways after you have that list. Obviously, calls one, door knocks another, and I think worst case, a lot of agents kind of fall back on mailing because it's easier and less scary.
Yeah, exactly, right.
But it's, I was talking to the agents up in Westbrook about it today, and they all decided, we got to get on the phones. We get so much mail these days. You mail one piece, the chances of getting it. And if you continue to mail, it's costing you money. You may be 4 months down the road, and that one agent either stopped by and said hello or found a phone number for them to call, and they built a rapport with them, and all your mail is you would have had a chance with.
Right.
Now, maybe you do a mail and a follow-up call, but I wouldn't do just mail. That's what it is. So, any questions on expireds? If you have an expired listing letter, I'll send out if you do want to use a letter.
I know Jeff does the work here. Box like 1,000 coins. No, I know that's what I'm saying, but like at least if we have a letter to drop behind, like
Right.
I want to expand my marketing budget next year, but until it gets expanded, it's like trying to play the game of like trying to make more phone calls and driving. Free, on gas. That costs. I'm like, I'd love to knock every door I can instead of calling, but both sides of the coin.
Yeah, another way to avoid expired if you're really noticing one to on the market. Obviously. Facebook them and block them other
You
ways.
kind of still have to do that. We put there and kind of change it, right? Because we actually
Right. Right. And just so I'll just go back there for a second, just so you guys know, if you are finding a property that's vacant, or even if you want to make sure you're sending it to the right party, if you click on the little book button over on the right. Find out if they live you'll find out if they should live at this property still. Doesn't mean they don't live somewhere else, but oftentimes you'll see another address here for the owner. That's the actual owner's address, so that you can go and try to do something.
I did that when I did my mailings. I saw a couple, like one was in like Maryland.
Yeah.
It says they live on Alton Drive.
Right. If you know they live in Maryland, then you can super page. I talk to super pages a lot or white pages. Try to or Google the name. Try to find a phone number for them. I'm looking into a couple other ones, like see if I can, I'll get a subscription for your office, like Cold Directory, which goes out. It's supposedly pretty good at finding cell phone numbers for people.
Yeah.
For that.
Sure. Yeah, it's like 50-50. It gives you a number, half of them are active, half of them are out of service, like their whole timeline. Okay. Then I was going, and all of a sudden it's like you versions, and it asks for me to sign up for like Pro. I didn't know that was couldn't be done. I was like, I'm like, either I searched a lot of names, or you guys just reformatted your setup, and now you're trying. Right.
All right, then we'll move on from expired. The second one I think is one of the best is by owner prospecting. I would develop a list of your sale by owner that you're going after, and as you're driving, keep your eyes open. If you're looking at your prospect goals every day, and part of it is sale by owners, you'll start noticing a lot more sale by owners.
I do just what you say too.
Just take a picture of the sign.
So easy to just
Drive by, take a picture, call later.
Yeah.
Call later when you can be somewhere where you can notice. Right, in the right mindset for it. I've always found that low and easy approach to sale by owners is better than the hey, crazy, stupid, why you sell my owner. More of how's it going, questions, like I work in the neighborhood a lot, house, just in case buyer, oh no, I see your house, do you mind if I show you what I do and how I mark my homes, just in case you decide that you want to list with an agent. I think that approach works a lot easier than crazy, don't you know?
Do you know who I am?
Right.
Don't you know who I am?
Right. But I've had agents, that commit to doing this, all of a sudden call the sale by owner and call me and say, I just got a listing. I'm like, well, how did that happen? I call them and they're ready to go list with an agent. So sometimes it's just a matter of timing.
Right. Yeah, they're sick of doing it.
You may call certain sale by owners, like the one you guys are talking about, that now, or for whatever reason, they're just that's okay. It's the person that remember the most when they do get tired of it that they're gonna call. So you follow up multiple times, but you'll find them on Craigslist sometimes. You'll find them on by owner sites. If you Google for sale by owner, you'll find buyowner.com, forsalebyowner.com, isoldmyhouse.com. There's a bunch of them out there that you can find them. So I doubt probably develop a list of 10. That's your prospect list.
Right.
Questions on sale by owners? Pulling lists of move-up homes from MLS Public Records and specializing in helping buyers trade up to a larger home. To do this, I'd probably say you want to do 50 to 75 of these. The reason I've even inspired, I've got 50 to 100 and 50 to 75 and trade up is you're only going after 10 of something. Chances of landing something in that category are pretty slim. So make sure you have enough in your list.
It didn't work out. This sucks.
I'm moving up. Now I'm done with the for sale by owner. Now I'm going to expire. So I'm going to show you guys. Some of you probably haven't done this before, but with MLS you can do some pretty unique public record searches. Find these kind of sellers. So on your tools button, you want to go to public records. And this is where obviously you can put in a property and find specifics about a property, but you can also use it to develop lists. So we're doing move-up buyers first. So what do you think fits the profile of a move-up buyer?
like 800 square.
right? Yeah. So how many? Maybe 800 to what? Would you go out today to 800s? Depends on your tolerance. Personally, I would do 1,000 to 1,600. Why? Because an 800 square foot house is a hard sell. It's a hard sell. And I want easy listings.
No, I thought you meant like 800 square.
Right, like certainly they do want to move up, but it
Right.
doesn't mean I necessarily want to prospect that whole list.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, they want to move up possibly, but are they an easy, is that an easy home to sell?
No.
And 800, it may be a single person over 1,000, you can fit a family. I'm looking for, particularly, I'm looking for the families that are busting at the seams house. Or they got married, they got their first house, now they have one kid or two kids, and they're just jobs, they're thinking, okay, now it's time to market good. The rates are going to go up next year. I think move up are going to be a big category this year because the rates are still good. They've got the money. They might have bought even like a bank on 4 or 5 years ago. It's got equity. All the signs are mine that it's a good move up buyer. So let's start to put some criteria in here. So under advanced criteria, we can go down and scroll and find okay, there's living area. So get to the living area. I'm going to do 1,000, 1,600. Add that. So I've got one criteria there. Is there any other criteria I might want?
One
or more baths?
one bath.
Oh, okay, I got you. That's true. Remember full baths.
You need more bathrooms.
We had a half bath there. But, right. So then what about bedrooms? Do you matter? Two. Two are hard to sell though.
Well, they're hard to sell, but if you're looking for
What
to get out of
We're looking for
But the other thing too, if you think about it, like that could also generate you another client. I have friends who are new couples or don't have a family started yet. They buy 2 families, purple, and then in 5 years they want to buy a bigger house.
Right. I'm gonna put 2 or 3 in there.
I just forgot the county.
Right. All right. Anything else?
What?
Probably for this purpose, I probably would go garage. Let's say I want to go out to Auburn. Put a town in there that you want to work out. Now, sale date. Like when do you think we should put? We can put a range in there.
600. Is that too broad?
What?
60.
Let's say that every 7 years. So 4 years ago would be 2011. So let's say 12/31/2011. That's our end date. But then let's start beginning. Let's say 1/1/2007. We can always adjust this after this. 2000. So 1/1/2007 through 12/31/2011. I think I'm just going to do this. All right, let's see what we got. 232. Not a bad list.
No.
You know, you want a super page and start dialing up the dollars. I almost guarantee you, but you probably get the business out of there. Pretty worth the hard. Maybe we come up with a little move up letter or move up postcard. I know there's some in promo shop. Did you see there what kind of geared towards that?
They
Like,
have,
do you need a whoop over your head? There's like some
Yeah.
some kind of clever little postcards in there, but
We're on downside.
sorry.
Yeah, that's stuff we Showtime. That's November, I think. It's not got 4. or you account for it or something. Right. And just all that other stuff is on the back end of our stuff. It's, resource center and all that stuff. Just how to get it done. Very nice.
All right, so that's US. Obviously, come down, you can download it, which is nice. And you got to check the boxes, but if you download it, you can actually sort it by
You
street.
can sort it by cell.
Right. So I would recommend you download it. That way you can sort it. And if you're doing some going on. What?
Where was the social service? Public.
The tools.
Just in the public record?
Yeah. Yeah. It looks very simple and old, but it's very.
I've already picked up 3 things today. It's an advanced search paper.
Yes. So it's just, you're just using these drop-down boxes down here to keep adding things. So you just add where keep adding things that you want to do.
Like out-of-state owners.
Probably, like you said, you would sort them by, oh, I see, sort by, where it says city. Let's say sort by street or something like that.
Right. And if you download it, it'll sort it if you want. If you always come up with a clever little letter, you can just put the labels out.
Yeah, right.
Just go with your label on and go with it. If you're going to work one of these, I would suggest you put together your own little letter, how you help these kinds of families,
Right.
and then you do the mailers, and then you start dialing it. All right, so let's do the next example, which is developing a list of downsides. How would we change up this criteria for downsides? Number of paths, does that matter? Not really. How about bedrooms, does that matter? Yes. What's- I think bedrooms isn't as big a deal as square footage. Square footage is the biggest one to me. If your kids are in college now and they're never there, and you're
Sitting there listening to you and your wife's voice echo through a 4,000 square foot home. Like,
right, sounds like right. Sounds like you know what that's like. You maybe put together a pretty good letter. So I would say 2,000 plus square feet. That's one that I would consider. 2,000 plus square feet. Now, how long would you want them to own that property? It depends on how big it is. I would go at least 10 years. No, let's do 20 years through 10 years. So 20 years would be 1995. So long, bought it after 1995 and before 10 years. Out of 1/1/1995 through 12/31/2005. California decision. Okay. 326. On these properties. Quite a while. Another good sized list. And then if you want to, and this one of the things I've done this is to
now on the right where it says Dell price, $0 and $100. I mean, those are like, they were likely deals between families or something. They have no money.
it could have been a husband to wife transfer or a husband to a husband and wife transfer. I would sell a house.
So it could be a transfer.
Yeah. But the chances are to transfer property. From the public record, if there's a mortgage.
Yeah.
And if they've owned the house for over 10 years, not have, or might not have a big mortgage. Mike was actually showing me how to look up the property. No, right through most, no. A class sale price 0, and 5 people would are living there with a bigger house, and that's renting out a tower or growth fund. I'll show you guys how you can do that. for kind of those homes that they couldn't sell. They rented for 2 years and they're probably tired of renting. Actually look up rentals that rented. Instead of looking up rentals available, look up renting property. And for single families, home. Fine. Surprised that's rented and it was rented in March or April or May. The seller may be thinking, right, this tenant's out of here, I'm selling to competition. But before, they don't really want to get stuck in being a landlord, but
Right.
the choices were lose a bunch of money
Yeah.
or rent it out for a few years and then sell it when the market's better. That's good points to that. So the other thing I will sometimes put in this list is total value. Meaning you want, if it's a bigger house and they're looking at downsides, it's probably going to have to be a certain value, probably. And total value would be the assessed value. So I'm going to just say 300,000 plus. So if they've got a $300,000 plus house, they're paying a lot of taxes. It's a big house. They may have a good sized mortgage on it still, but either way, they're feeling the pinch of taxes and a big house. So I just added 300,000 plus.
I think that was one of them. That's pretty what Canada does. Like the
Oh yeah, this is true. So now the list is 248. So it's a good list. About downside. If it's too many for you, you can change your criteria. You can say, okay, if they've owned it longer than 2000, that means they've owned it for more than 15 years. And we put this back to 1990. Now they've owned it between 20 and 30 years. People would definitely probably have kids on it. So worth going after. Yeah, there is a box here for absentee owners. You could put yes. There, absentee owners. That's weird.
They probably don't live. They probably don't live.
Right. All that owner. So you can look at each one and see what partner is, or download it. You get the Excel list that you download will have their actual
Oregon.
Oregon, yeah. Pretty crazy. I don't know. Chance property, second property ownership. So that's another list you can search. The other list that's probably a good one. We talked about rented, so you can find Auburn rented. You could search by the time frame also. So if you do Auburn, Mass, rented, put time frame in here of 3/01/2014, 13, 5/1/2014. So that's going to show you any rented homes, any rentals rented in that time frame, which will be coming up on renewal in the next 3 months. So, from 0. See if there's any. Rental lists?
Well, you can go in and say what you want, how much you want the rent. On a million restrictions.
At Southbridge.
Oh, I know what you're talking
On a million restrictions.
about. Sure. Sure.
I ran into one of your clients yesterday. The postmaster.
Oh, Michelle King.
There we go.
Oh, she's not my client. Oh, no,
It
Lynn.
was.
Lynn.
All right, so I just did a search. You have to make sure you pick rented, not single family.
Right.
But these are all homes that rented with rented date 6/19/2013. So you never know. This owner probably not living there, so you could check the public record. But you don't really. Family probably doesn't have a rental unit number. Break that, and the owner, the owner still lives at that barn. Probably not. So you could look up this person if you want to. But some of the things you can do it up there. No, the other one I think is a pretty good search for prospects is bank-owned properties that have been owned, let's say, 4 to 7 years. So they bought it cheap. Now they've got some equity. You can do a single-family search, do solds. They would want to look at Auburn again. Just as sold, so let's do 01, 2008. 01, 2000, let's say. And then down here you see these little buttons, lender owned. Just click on the yes. You know the markets, you start looking at some of the houses, it's going to be like, they have crazy equity. 95,000, 95,000, nothing sells for 95,000. So again, you can use these lists, potentially find people that are ready to move up to the next house.
Now, do you do just kind of like a quick market analysis on that kind of thing? Or you're like, look, just quick looking at your house.
I wouldn't even bother that part because you don't even know that you can get the forward.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you want?
I would just call and say, I know you bought your home. Just calling people that bought their home. Back when the market was at a low, and I can tell you probably got some pretty good equity in it right now, and you thought about moving up for. So some of these single families that were bought like these are investors that bought them, used to hold them, they've been renting them for 4 or 5 years, and they can do a 1031 exchange on it. They can take it, sell it, and all the profit from it roll into a 3-family or 4-family with no tax consequence. Yeah. No, it's short. It's 6 days, something like that. Maybe it's 120 days to get it under from the previous quote. Yeah. They can be a little tricky. There's attorneys out there that deal with it. Client wants to do that, but these properties are definite potential. All right. So any questions on that? All right. Let's move on. Talk about downsizers. Posting on Facebook weekly something that shows you're a master of selling homes. So think about that perspective. A lot of times, like I'm showing buyers homes, or even just like I'll go with some presentation this afternoon. Those little things remind people that you also what you do. Every once in a while, put the Makes It Sell Faster website on. Website on your Facebook profile. Just hey, if you're ever thinking about selling, it's a great resource to show you how we market homes. People like that. So you gotta every once in a while just remind people that I'm in the business, I'm good at the business, and I want your business. Definitely, some people do it. Some people do it. Somewhere in between is the right mix. So just think of it. I just sometimes leave just look at my own personal profile and start looking through my posts the last month and say, did I do a job of being consistent? Letting you know my presence and what I do without being over the top and ridiculous about it.
Right.
Or, could I use some improvement? So do self-analysis on that. Let's see, what else? Posting, call everyone you know and catch up. And throw the by the way in there while you're inquire about them. If you know anybody that's by themselves. I mean, this is just great time of year. Just call everybody in the database and say, have fun, happy New Year. Phone is just it's a very underutilized tool these days. Everybody thinks like, oh, nobody wants to hear from me. Other times, don't get
Oh, like, oh my God, there's actually
You're
one.
too easy, right? Enough.
Hey, please, if you ever, making those calls, because that's just a plan. If you get a voicemail, you should just check. I mean, how much do you want to leave? Like, or, I want to wish you happy New Year, obviously say that, but how far do you go without doing that?
her personal taste. I don't know even by herself and what's not. I feel like she's.
Yeah,
I maybe just hey, wish you a happy New Year, but everything's well. The calls.
Or if you're, are you still at UMass? Because I'm still at Exit. Hopefully we good for you.
Right.
There's something really with you.
Right.
Now,
The by the way it should be a really by the way. Not a. I'm leaving a message by the way. By the way.
and hey, I just wanted to wish you a happy New Year, and I thought,
It was
well,
in
wow,
the neighborhood.
I'd love to catch up.
Do you actually talk to real estate next level? Friends with the pattern again, and then all of a sudden, folks you
I think that's more self-feeling than them feeling it.
Yeah.
It's like we all feel like we're being that pushy salesman, but I think most people understand. If you ask them about how things are going, you actually have them on a call, they're probably going to ask, "Oh, how's it going with real estate?" And that's much easier to say. How's it going with real estate? It's going good. I'm trying to build up my client database for the rest of the year. Hey, do you know anybody who's looking to buy or sell? That's a good thing. Okay, I gotta go. But if they say, yeah, I think I know somebody, try to get their information. Oh, they have a friend at work who's thinking about doing something, not just, don't leave it for them. I've made a mistake. I'll get a call one of my friends' wives to say, or message her on Facebook. Once you give me their name, they say, oh yeah, have them call me anytime. That's, you're losing, you're basically giving that person, the responsibility of going and saying, hey, I do know somebody. And you hope it happens. It might not happen. Right. 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 Just give me the phone number. I'll tell them who most of the time they give the name and say, oh yeah, it's so-and-so. Or, oh, is she friends with you on Facebook? Yeah, she's friends with me on Facebook. Okay, great. I'll connect with her and I'll message her on Facebook. That way you're going direct to the source. Hoping and praying that it ends up back in your laps sometime. Right.
So I gave her your information, so she'll call you.
Yeah.
Check in and say hey, and let her know. And she was like, and then I just said she was kind of hesitant. I was like, do you mind asking her? Like, how can I do it? But I'd love to follow up.
Right.
And it worked, and I made contact with her.
Yeah. And you might not have.
Right, probably not. Like, okay.
Right. Because most people, they know somebody will say, yeah, I know somebody. But will they go back and say, hey, my friend Alicia?
Right.
Yeah, they won't. 8 times out of 10, they probably won't. So you don't get that information. Definitely, just reach out to everybody. One of the trainers that you probably don't call any of your friends anymore, and you're going to think like, oh, it's going to be weird.
First thing they're gonna think is something you want.
Yeah, like why are you calling me? But you got to reestablish the connection, reestablish the rapport. Like, not just call a friend you haven't talked on the phone for 5 years and say, hey, how's it going? By the way, do you know anybody? By the way. by the way. So, but the phone
Just
is,
so you know, this is not
I
a
know.
multi-level marketing call. Yeah, I'm not calling on behalf of AMWay or anybody else.
but the phone is a highly important device. Or if somebody has a birthday, and like a future piece of business, or they might give you a girl, the phone and call and say happy birthday.
Well, like that training we went to, like, use the phone app.
Right.
And everybody was like, what? And tilted their head like, oh, actually, yeah, that's right, they do make phone calls.
Right, exactly. So, all right, so we're well planned open houses 2 or 3 weeks a month. So if you've got listings, your listings, obviously. If you don't, there's plenty of listings in office that you want open houses for. The next month may be a little bit slower, but it doesn't mean you should. People will be out there trying to beat the spring market, trying to get into homes. Even if you have 1 or 2 people show up, if it's the right people that show up, those can be nice fire months. So I really do recommend open houses. No better way. And dress to impress, set it up to impress, don't show, by the seat of your pants, throw a couple of signs along last second, throw a couple of flyers out on the printer and show up with no goodies, little sign sheets. Good writing, get a whole kit together that you just keep in the car, that you know you're ready.
With everything
And you have my permission to not do open houses that even try to get you a cover for last minute. I just had an open house today, Friday afternoon, and an open house Sunday 11. Cover. Anyone who wants cover. You can't get enough advertising effective reach open house on Friday for a Sunday open house. It's got to be in Monday or Tuesday. Got to be in MLS with the balloons. Also take it to, okay, I'm running an open house on Sunday, I'm going to put it on Facebook, I'm going to put it on Craigslist, I'm going to get my signs out on Friday or Saturday, so plan it in advance. Any comments on that?
Not about that, but how to use like actual directionals anymore, like I don't see them anymore. Well,
Open house sales?
no, I don't mean
Sale?
I mean when you're selling, when you're listing. So
You
permanent
can use it for
directional.
sale.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
They
so
can't appear a lot, so I think some agents just,
what's the criteria? Obviously, you can't like nail them to a tree, but
For sale, little metal packers.
well, sometimes
knocking the guy
don't
over.
so sometimes don't allow. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't just go banging a nail in a tree.
Right.
But
yeah, and then someone will take that.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
staple in a telephone pole or a zip tie.
just like that.
I mean,
But so they are, because I started wondering if maybe like it was.
Honestly, I mean, if you really, do
No,
those
if
kinds
you
of
have
things, they
a
have
tree,
investors.
Yeah,
Like if you go to investor websites for bandit signs and stuff, they have like these like pole kits where you put the sign on it, it's got a stapler in it, and you just go up and you whack it, and it's like 8 feet high, and nobody's ever
No
taken it down.
I know you.
But it's brackets what?
The
Telephone.
telephone.
Oh, telephone,
Okay, like catapult.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing too.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
so nobody
so good to have those directions.
Was
Think
there,
about it.
was there gonna get taken? Lemons are gonna get taken, Auburn didn't get taken. And then I did another one at Worcester and it was like less than 2.
I know with Sturbridge, if you don't.
Get your name on them.
Picks them off. It's against the
Worcester.
that
Yeah,
why?
and I knocked on the guy's door and was like, hey, I'm selling the house next door. I just want to put a for sale arrow in your yard. Is that okay? And the guy was like, yeah, thanks for asking. No one's ever asked. The guy in London's the same thing. Ask. They just come
To put
by,
a direction.
step the arrow in and walk away and they don't even
Yeah,
have
I don't even mean that. I mean like semi-permanent. So you're listening.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but yeah, that's what I mean. Like the guy even said yes, so I know he didn't take it down. The owner
Oh, I
said it
see.
was fine. Someone probably just drove by and some kid took it or some other
towns have
agent
bylaws.
took it.
Yeah.
I was there, I don't know. I know Sturbridge does.
So you think the town is taking them down? Or is it
Where
people?
did you have?
I haven't recently, but I just haven't seen any yet.
I mean, sometimes it's neighbors, sometimes it's
The neighbor could have
Occasionally,
a house
other
for
real estate
sale and they
agents.
don't want, yeah.
Not for sale, just.
Well, they don't want you to.
Remind you we're being recorded.
That's how.
Regina.
Yeah.
That's how.
Oh, it's Mike's. Mike's.
Right, it was like a brand new.
Yeah.
No, you guys are good. You can get out there like that. It's good.
What about open house signs? How many
I would put them out Saturday morning, Sunday.
And you put what time?
Time, date and time, Sunday, 11 to 1.
I do all of mine at the same time, so I have a little Velcro thing that I put on there that's laminated, and I stick it on the sign, so it sticks up above the sign. So it says, Sunday.
Right.
11 to 12.
Because you want traffic at the time, you don't drive around. And you want to put them on Saturday morning, it's time to get to 5. So they're not going to stay at night. Pick them at the beginning of the school. Saturday morning, whenever you put them up, so it gets done on Saturday. You do a little on Sunday morning of the open house, but like, you want someone that's driving by that's saying, oh, wait a minute, I'm looking for a house tomorrow.
To put a balloon on it is, I think,
I do.
and it catches your eye so much
If it's
more.
a brand new listing, I would put it on the little rider.
Yeah.
If it's not snowing, those corrugated open house signs, you can dry erase marker on them, and they'll come off afterwards. But not the rain. It's gonna be gone. All the
Doesn't Dan have those giant, like, 12-foot flag things too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Dan.
Oh, yeah, he is, yeah, right, for the actual house.
Yeah.
All right.
I get fined for putting directions all over.
So just take them down.
Yeah,
So I won't spend.
Some guy who wants to live in a
No,
sign.
but
They have really.
I mean, if you throw up a couple and they, on every listing you take and
Oh,
put
yeah.
up 2 or
Some
3,
guys garage.
you're potentially throwing $30 up. But it's marketing. But awesome. All right, next one, running ads, links to your website on Facebook, interesting ads, listings, open houses, price, range, etc. So obviously, I don't have, oh, you guys are on Facebook, right? You guys know how many connections you have, how many friends you have on Facebook?
Yeah,
Yeah, anything over 500, 600, I think is frequently. You still can keep growing. I almost say maybe every week you spend some time. It can be downtime. You sit and watching TV time. It could be more coffee time. Going on there, trying to find new connections. The more you grow it, those connections are free. They cost you nothing. Then you start posting your listings or other office listings on there. They don't know that they're not your listing. They don't know that you don't have any listings. They don't
Tell them you're
know.
moving and you need months.
Right. Right. But the point is, get the advertisements out there, exposure. Books, because a lot of people that have, like you said, if you've got a lot of connections to Facebook, sometimes there's no way I see every post every day on my Facebook. I might see the last hour,
Yeah.
last 2 hours. But I mean, most people are like that. They're not going to look at every single post. So think about the times of day you're posting. Like, are they going around? Lunchtime,
early in the morning, and
early in the morning.
it's like 4 o'clock is a really good time. People are wrapping up their day. I think.
Yeah.
And so it's like 7:30ish going into that, and then it's like.
and then we have.
Yeah.
What about LinkedIn? Nothing?
Sunday.
LinkedIn, I haven't done much with LinkedIn, but I hear it's getting better.
Oh, I find a lot of repeat. Like, I'll go on and I'll say, add this person to your network. I mean, I put photos up on Instagram, and then I'll have the photo up there, and I'll think that's Facebook.
Any of you guys use Twitter?
Fairly sweet. I'm
It's 180 characters.
I just retweeted that one from
My
realtor.com.
daughter's boyfriend said something, I grabbed her phone.
Find out where you're.
I think so.
Twitter's been kind of going downhill.
Actually,
Snapchat.
Losing volume of people.
The kids now Snapchat. Snapchat stories.
That's where it disappears.
Yeah, we're not gonna get you.
I'm doing something stupid in my house, my daughter.
All right, next one, number 9. Take the vote how many prospecting calls a week you're going to make. Part-timers, I think it should be at least 10 to 20. Full-timers, it should be at least 20 to 40 calls / door knocks per week. Make a goal, if you talk up about it, or you let us speak to us about it, we're going to probably start every 10 o'clock every Tuesday for power hours, so that's accountability. Everybody wants to come in and share their goals for the week and how it did them last week. And have a little bit of a accountability session before the power hours. But if you make that goal and have it, and you're looking at it every day, you're going to find something to call. The building owners, expires, friends, family, you'll find people to call. So one of the things is just goal, and then goals. So, all right, maybe
Go by that, okay.
Is that gonna be every week? Not 10 every week, yeah?
Yeah.
Do that.
Tuesday, 10 to 40
That's what
hours.
I'm at, too. It wasn't a pretty season at all.
But it's good, I mean, if everybody wants to be public counsel. Right. Yeah, I think it's all good. Okay, so blow it out of the water and just like do it.
So everyone else is doing.
Why you so much?
I know, no, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying.
I have
A goal is a little different than a resolution, but.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Do better if you get something, but. Vacation, do you want to take? Out, so.
Not vacation. Yeah.
I didn't make a resolution list, I did stuff that I wanted to talk about.
I would give myself realistic goals that can move up.
The goal is fun. That's true.
All right, so number 10, advertise your listings at parades, Facebook, at Craigslist.com, Zillow, goes, photographer, etc. One of the things talking to guys who talk about Strauss, come to hear and find out, is he gets a lot of by how much that listing, how putting it out there. So you have eyes more than believe, because stars are elusive. They're like those elusive little, they're out there in the breeze. You don't know where they are, and all of a sudden, you get a call. Hey, look at this up. If you don't position yourself as a listing agent on Facebook, for instance, it's connected to you, wants to sell, how would they know to call you? Right? You know, I'm looking for a listing agent. I'm not looking for. I feel like sellers, they're looking for a listing agent. They're specialized in selling listings. They're not looking for an agent. I'm not just looking for an agent.
Once I get my real first listing, I'm totally going to do just about everything that Mark says.
Yeah.
I got no problem spending the money to do it. I just want to get not a falling down three-family house to sell.
Right.
But,
Everything with the flags.
buyers, and I had one listing, but I literally sold the same day. Just because I know exactly what you know.
Yeah. So, all right, so all those things I think are good. We can open up to open discussion. That's fine. The last thing I want to mention is through all these activities, you'll have the prospect list. You might have a downside list, you might have an expired list, you might have a for sale by owner list. You should keep those organized. Right? Something. I don't care if it's a handwritten. You should have those lists, but then and I'll share with you guys again. I really like them to have a pipeline also. in your pipeline spreadsheet, there's any lead that comes forward and identifies itself, whether it's a buyer you have to put forward at an open house, or it's a seller that you started talking to, but they're not much spring, or for sale by owner that you had frequently forward and you think you're following up with it. Because if you move them from the prospect list to the pipeline list, that's kind of the thing you want to look at every day and say, how can I move them from the bottom, which is a low percentage of closing, to the top, which is closed. Every time it moves up, it's getting a better percentage. So I don't know if you've ever seen the pipeline sheet I use, but it's got sections of basically warm leads or somewhat warm leads. Okay, so you have them come in for a consultation, you sign them up with a contract, now they move into the bucket. And they have a different percentage on each one. So if you start to track your numbers, if I can get them into the office and buyer consultation, I'm going to close them 50% of the time, maybe 75% of the time. Put percentages on it, so if you have the goal is 10 buyers closed this year, and you have a 50%. 50% is your ability to close, then you need to have 20 buyers in that pipeline. And that spreadsheet will calculate you only closing half of those, so that you can look at your pipeline and say, I'm on track to make my 100,000, or I've got a lot of serious work to do. And then it's also a reminder, if you're looking at it every day consistently, you're looking at it and saying, oh yeah, that for sale by owner, I need to keep working. That buyer, I need to keep working on. It won't be box. Right. Oh, this one just moved under agreement, so that's moving up into here. Now I've got 75% ratio on that one. And then it closed, and now it's 100%. That's money I earned. Really start to get a handle on the pipeline. Does it have enough business to feed what you need? If you do that now, you'll know what business you have in the pipeline that came with you. Yeah. If you've been working, unless you're starting doing it first, you should have some leads that are coming with you into the, and that will happen next year too. So, I mean, if you get to the point where next year you're going into 2017 with a pipeline of your goal, you should feel pretty good about where you're at. That I have a good amount of business that's going to happen. Fine. So, nothing in there, that's more to do. But it helps you move it up the chain. Thoughts, questions? Let's have some open discussion items.
Obviously, Mark's.
Yeah. I use the detailed ones, like to have like thoughts or possible. Have to keep very focused on because don't 3 months down. All about that, so I called, I had good rapport with them, completely forgot, they were talking to my car, and a little sticky note that I wrote it on. Was that stupid?
Are you using any kind of CRM at all?
Oh, this is the bottom of my shoe.
Customer relationship.
I started
Lots of
putting
notes,
everything in
calendars,
Google
various
Shops.
boards. I have one.
Do it daily for you, like a text conversation, that stuff.
Yeah, I try to write down what I say to them, like if it's coming again, if it's expired or canceled, just like which project is, when are they looking to resell, are they looking to resell? They say, I have my agents, my nephew, just hang the phone up or something like that, I just cross on Twitter. It's just every week. I do one for Worcester and then I do one for all the towns touching Worcester. It's a lot of information. I'm not where I want to be or where I need to be.
You get all in one sort of repository, so it seems like what tool you use.
I'm not using it. I'm using paper. Pen.
Okay.
Like a little file organizer where it's like, this is the group of people I need to mail to, these are the people I need to mail back, and I need to like find a better way to get it all together.
Photoshop does have Like, I just started pulling all those scraps of paper, all those notes in my notebook. I worked on that while I was on, you know. It is, and it gives you all the reminders, even like the year out for anniversaries and for that. And that's all I remember with 5 days.
And, Resource Center, promo shop?
No,
It's easy. If you want, give me a call tomorrow. Or I'll.
You should get Slack, the app.
Slack.
Because Slack is basically like a notebook, or whatever you put in there, you can set reminders. So if you gotta call somebody back in 2 weeks,
Right.
under that note, you can write, remind me to call in 2 weeks, and they'll remind you to Slack. Yeah, that's good too, but
It's
I used to
everything.
use that one. Slack is more useful, like it has more features.
Why?
You're gonna keep everything in one place.
Well, yeah, but
That's
if
really
you-
big. And then if you need to send something out, part of it is trying to send it on out, and everything's up there.
But I use the calendar on my phone.
You know what I mean?
You can either make it an event, or you can say,
Set alert for it too, yeah.
Just
I was
the,
doing it
reminder.
on that,
Yeah.
and it's, and then,
But
you know what I
Slack
mean?
also syncs with your calendar, but you can put notes and stuff down. Basically like a notebook with reminders.
I just put my whole list in the Excel.
That was a
sheet,
goal.
so I have it all.
Talking about goals. Yeah, get it done, like, you know, still feel some address concerns, things with for what I needed, but it's not, give it, do a 30 day.
Even put the stickers on my mailings.
Yeah.
And then.
I did 100 of them.
I should like
200 and something while I did one. Like,
It's, exit on the exit resource center.
it's a talent.
Yeah.
You have it, you don't. You know?
Do it.
Yeah.
I tell you
I mean,
what,
worst
that
case
was the
scenario,
best
you're-
investment ever though. I think it was.
Don't have these pensions paying for that, then find other ways, like Excel spreadsheets, stuff like
And
that.
that's what,
But if you can get to using promo shop. On a weekly basis, over time, you can grow your database. Like all you, like everybody in the database, with a click. Postcard or something like that. So it has its benefits, it just takes time to do it. Depends on it. I mean, prospecting, you know, really for a full timer, it's probably 20 hours a week should be prospecting. It's more than you think, but that's where the money's lost, not just. All the money is just that week has to do with prospecting.
How's the exit website? Anybody getting weeks out of that? Exit for you?
Yeah, but a lot of them aren't being fun. A lot of them aren't applying to any emails. A lot of them are just going through and setting a training file.
Because I've got quite a few. The problem with mine is it's a lot like out of like the northeast, like out of the up by New Hampshire, Vermont, and then I got some like south of Boston. Just yesterday I got one from Worcester actually that I talked to today. So they have a phone number, I called them. So we're talking, but like a lot of the earlier ones I was getting are like really far away. It's like way like Lowell, past Lowell.
Ads you're running?
No, they're just like appearing on my thing. I don't know where. It says like the SEO or like Google or something like that. It doesn't really say where it's coming from, but a lot of them are from really far away. Like some of them are unsubscribed. There's still a few that are looking that I'm still talking to, but they're really far away. So if it comes to anything else, no, I'll just refer them to somebody. I'm not gonna drive 3 hours to like.
Yeah, I'll be looking.
Yeah.
We're gonna determine what was coming from where, right?
And that's
Down, pop over.
The what?
That's inbound, so they're contacting you.
They
from
just
the
like the
website.
exit homes for our website. It's just you get that link, you get that little text message saying you have a new contact.
Great.
That like I don't do anything. They just appear. I don't know where they come from.
At least they know we can navigate it and go from anywhere.
Not yet.
Oh, really? So then it is from
It's
something.
organic somehow.
And left an email, and I sent her an email. Like 10:30.
I got a lot from
I'll send her an email.
first,
Get it.
and then I
I
sent.
mean, the website's better than the old one, I still don't think you're ever gonna. But
I don't feel that.
Oh, Jen, gee, come on.
Come on.
Do you want me to show you,
How do you get into it?
yeah. We want people, you just want to.
It's not really a lot, like, I probably, like, ever since I came on,
Okay.
And then.
I'm gonna check
And
it
like,
out.
Yeah, it was,
You have to.
second, third week in November.
But, the password is like your.
That was my job.
And then your, but your username.
Yeah.
You know,
I just remember it somewhere along the way.
and then you just want to
Yeah.
enter your password and then go into like.